BBAL with the call. That was hilarious. Oh, no is correct. Steve Smith Sr. called for pass interference, obviously nullified that touchdown. They lost 27-24. Joining us now is our NFL analyst, and I call him Cousin.
There you go.
How's it going, Cousin?
It's all
Can
good.
I just be your name?
For sure.
Okay.
All day long.
Eric Allen, are you okay with the call?
Exactly. Of course I'm okay with the call. You see all the whining and crying. Oh, come on now, please. How could it be?
Okay,
it's a penalty.
Okay.
It's increasingly getting more difficult to cover guys in the National Football League. And we've kind of, the last maybe 5 years, there's just been this huge rush of just to talk about the quarterback position. The cornerback position. That's the most important position.
By the way,
what would you play?
Well, hold on. None of that. I played running back in high school.
Cornerback.
It is so difficult, guys, to down in and down out in this passing league. Be a guy who's consistent. You can't cover guys. You can't put your hands on guys. You can't hand check. If you get your head around to the ball the proper way, the receivers push off. Steve Smith, and he's one of the only guys I've played against who's still in the league.
Yeah.
Again, he knows better. It was one-on-one, basically. You can't grab a guy. Steve's a strong dude.
Yes,
he probably bench pressed about 340 pounds or something.
Very strong.
So, again, it's always so difficult to cover guys.
Well, Cousin, was that a grab?
Again, Steve Smith grabbed him, pushed him out of the way, and caught the football. You know how Steve Smith is. He's one of my favorite players of all time. But he cannot do this. It was clear, blatant penalty. About time. The cornerbacks, DBs, get some love, and not for a minute should you two back that call up. I mean, you got to go with the call. That's what it's about.
Let me say this to you. I was so disgusted with that call. You know, because the time of the game. Let me explain. The time. I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, come on, the ball's in the air, two guys are going for it. This kind of stuff happens, but I will acknowledge this. As I sit here listening to you explain, I must admit, you make me lean towards your side in this respect.
What?
Let me explain.
You're kidding.
I'm going to tell you why.
You let him talk you off your position.
He did talk. Yeah, I will admit that. And here's why. Because as a cornerback, he is right when he talks about the way we can't be hypocritical about this. We can't lament how tight the game has been called and how they don't let guys play football and how, you know, the quarterback, you touch him, you breathe in his direction, there's a penalty, blah, 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 blah. And we lament this stuff all the time because guys don't get an opportunity to defend. And then on a game-deciding play like that, there is no question to the letter of the law. Steve Smith Sr. violated. He did. The letter of the law. He did violate it. It was offensive. It was offensive pass interference. It was. Okay.
So you flopped on your position?
No, it's not a flop.
I'm just saying. Listen. I knew. I never doubted that it was offensive interference. If you're dissecting the rule and taking it literally, I'm just saying in a situation like that, you know, the defender turns around, he's looking for the ball, Steve Smith's looking for the ball, and then they jostle for position, and Steve Smith wins that battle. I don't believe the call should have been made, but I don't think it was the wrong call. And when you have a defensive player that's willing to bring up how repeatedly defenders in the NFL are victimized in this day and age, that is a valid point. Yeah, and offensive players get, the defensive players, they get no kind of
enough.
At all.
Yeah.
Look at
That's
the
true.
smile you have.
I will admit that.
I'm so
I would never
Are you
call
disappointed?
I'm not disappointed in you because
you
I
expected
anticipated
it,
because you did play this position in pro football and you played it very well. But you were protecting your position here. Here's the point of what just happened. And you can't see it from the overhead shot as well as you can see it from the ground shot. Steve Smith Sr. barely touched George Iloka. And guess what George Iloka did?
He
flopped worse than LeBron James has ever flopped. You know what? The flag should have been thrown on Iloka for flopping. That's what
that was basketball rules.
Yeah, we got to have basketball rules in the NBA and in the NFL, because that was blatant, outrageous flopping. He put his hand on it. I thought that too. I'd never seen that happen before. But it was a flat-out flop. And by the way, I'm not backing off, because you can look at my timeline. I immediately tweeted that the Baltimore Ravens just got robbed, because that was a robbery. That's a jump ball bomb. You have to let them play. It's going to decide the game. Yes. It's just, you're touching the guy's jersey. You go like this with your left hand. You touch his jersey as you're looking up for the ball, and he flops. And you thought
it threw him to the ground.
Threw him to the ground. He didn't even have hold of his jersey. It was the worst flop. It's beyond flops I've seen in NBA games. Seriously.
No flop.
He runs by him and just comes and then looks to the referee like, save me, because the game is over. The Ravens are going to win the game.
As a DB, you can't afford to flop, because you never get that call. So if you flop, you're going to get basically in the locker.
Hold on, guys.
Never get that.
Hold on, Eric.
Never get that.
Hold on, Eric. Skip Bayless. We have seen Steve Smith take guys and just fling them around like Bobby does.
But I don't care what you've seen.
I'm just saying. Wait a minute. We have been on this show talking about how strong this dude is.
Okay, so is this a reputation call?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Allow me to finish my thought. What I'm saying is that it's not beyond the realm of comprehension that guy literally, it wasn't flopping. Steve Smith is that strong. All I'm saying to you is this. I would not have made the call. Because especially in that particular,
situation, you have to be strong as a vampire, right? You know how strong vampires are?
Sometimes
they just throw them.
They blow on you.
Sometimes he looks that way.
So the call, I understand. You don't want to stop the flow of the game, but again, you know, when you're a defensive lineman and you're rushing a quarterback and your hand grazes the side of the helmet of the quarterback and it's an incomplete pass, there goes the flag. Everyone's okay with that.
Okay.
If you're going to be consistent in throwing the flag, don't hold the flag because of the moment of the game. That's not fair for the defensive back. He was in perfect position. So when he was in perfect position.
He was in
perfect position before Steve Smith threw him on his back.
He overran the play. That was
I agree with Skip there. He looked like he was overrunning the play.
Wait, Eric, be honest. He didn't throw him down. You know he did.
He threw him down.
Eric, you know he didn't throw him down.
Now you're tripping.
Now you're tripping.
I fell down.
Eric,
save me, referee.
You could at least say that.
No, that was intentional.
He grabbed him by it.
Grabbed him.
And threw him down to the ground.
Threw him down the ground.
I admire you trying to defend your position.
We have to, because no one else is.
I understand.
But it was the correct call.
All right. Eric Allen hanging around with us.
Yes.
Revisiting history and
by the
making
way,
things
Curtis
up.
Martin was wrong. But that's
okay, well, knock it off.
Not wrong.
Leave the man alone.
He started it. He would know.
He would.